Hi there, welcome back to the boat and another angle UK. And today I've come to an area a little bit further up the Fal estuary, up the Carrick Roads. And the reason for that is that it's still blowing quite a strong easterly, so I'm just sheltering a bit. And also I'm meeting family at lunchtime, so this is like a short session before I get a message to say my pasty's ready in St Mawes. The area that we're on at the minute is like a shoal area. We're in about 3.5 to 4 meters of water. It's quite shallow. You may not be able to see, but the green buoy in the back there is called Messac buoy, and that marks the navigational channel. So the other side of that buoy, it actually drops down to about 20 meters for the shipping lane. So we're outside of that. Now, this area is where I fished last year and caught a nice Bull Huss. So that's my plan again today. I'm using a similar setup, which I'll show you in a little while. But we've got some mackerel from yesterday. So that's what we're using for the bait. And we've got it all set up. I'm just using the one rod today. I think we've got wind and tide together right now, so hopefully the boat doesn't kind of hunt around too much, because that makes it awkward with the line. You get the line keeps pulling out from one side and then loads of slack and things. So I'll bring you back if we get something. So it's actually quite nice sat here in the cuddy, out the wind, a bit in the shade, but out the wind. Boat looks quite big when you sit right at the front. I suppose big's a relative term, isn't it? Anyway, just waiting for some action. Okay, so just a bit about the setup that I'm using. This is my Firebird, Shakespeare Firebird boat rod, and that's a 7 foot 20 to 30 pound boat rod. Nice little rod. I've then got onto that some mono on the multiplier, which is 20 pound mono, onto my trace, and the trace is made out of 15 pound. We've got this sliding boom on, 6 ounce lead, and then down to quite a strong hook link just for the teeth of the Bull Huss. I put a little muppet on to make it exciting. There's a nice big Aberdeen style hook on there, strong one, and about half a mackerel. There's been quite a bit of crab activity, so I need to take the bait in, bring it in about every 30 minutes and freshen up the bait. So I think there's a lot of small, maybe velvet swimmers or something like that are down there. I'll show you a photograph of my plotter. He says plotter, it's Navionics on an iPad. But this is exactly where I was fishing last year, and in the intro video, part 1 of this series, you'll see the Bull Huss that I caught, and that was on this particular mark. The tide's on its way in, so I've got wind and tide together. The boat seems to be sitting here at anchor quite nicely. All we need is the Bull Huss to come and play. I think we've got a Huss on here. Oh yes. Okay, let's get this in. Bull Huss. Let's have a look at you, baby. So I have to say, I wasn't actually expecting this guy. That's really nice. So yeah, they're really quite strong. Whoop, he's giving me a twist. I think we're gonna have to get this one back. Look at the teeth on that. Nice. Bull Huss. Mission accomplished. I can't believe that. Look at that, Bull Huss. Right. You can see this one going back. There he is. And off he goes. I do love to put them back carefully. It shows a bit of respect for the fish. Nice to see them swim back and strong and off to be caught another day maybe. Or wise up and don't get caught again. What a bonus. It was only a short session. So I'm stoked with that. That is really brilliant. So I came out, I got like a couple of hours because I'm meeting family, which I want to do. I thought I'll just see if we can get a Bull Huss off the mark where I was last year. And unfortunately I didn't catch it on video where the reel started paying a bit of line out. But fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I am absolutely made up with that. Yes! I was going to film it in the net, but I'm not really sure why this GoPro didn't want to turn on. I thought that would have been a nice shot. Oh well, I have to catch another one. Right, I've got to wind in and head up to St Mawes and then hopefully come back later on. High water's about 3 o'clock, so we still have some flood tide, if that makes a difference. I have to have a look at my logbook and see how I fished it last year. But I've just got the marks on the plotter and I know I was here, and that worked again. Really pleased with that. Somebody said there were thornback rays here as well, and I think they probably go for the same kind of bait, so that could be quite interesting as well. But let's see if we can get another Bull Huss later on today. So that's end of part 1 of part 5 or whatever we're up to on this trip. Okay, see you later. Yeah, I heard a pan and I was quite close to the Black Rock, and it turns out that the Sophie B here behind me has an engine failure. So we're just doing the honourable thing and towing him in to St Just in Roseland, which is opposite Mylor Marina, so it's not really any great shakes being out of my way. She's a big boat and I've never towed anything before, so yeah, it's interesting. I'm just taking it easy, got him on a mooring line. Hopefully we don't fetch any cleats off my boat. It'd be easier without such a swell, to be honest, although you can probably not see that on the GoPro. But anyway, doing the honourable thing, taking him in. I won't film it all. So yeah, I think everything's under control now. I'm a bit concerned about actually getting him onto a mooring and stuff because his boat's quite heavy. But now we're out of the swell, it's towing quite nicely. We're just making a steady 2.5 knots, which seems quite reasonable. Don't want to go too fast in case we have to stop. I've already got my filleting knife out and I've cut the rope if I have to, because I know his boat is heavy. It would pull me under, I think. See what he's got to say when we get him into St Just in Roseland as to what we think we can do. Might have to get him alongside, that might be easier. All new to me. But hopefully somebody would do the same for me if I was stuck one day. you. That's got you on there. That's quite nice.
Well,
so, are you okay from here?
yeah, I'll be fine.
You got your little dinghy and everything.
No, it's really kind of you to do that.
Well, it's no problem. It's what we need to do out there, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
One day it might be me.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay. You take care, mate.
Thank you.
Okay, we got lucky with the wind and the tide and whatever, and got him on his mooring first go. Not bad for a first try. So yeah, he was pleased, and it's good to help somebody. Could be me next time, so I hope not. But yeah, got to him quite quickly after he'd done his pan. Got him towed straight in. It's a big boat, 115 horsepower. For some reason the engines decided to stop, so little real time worked hard today. Just brought him back in at about 2 knots, nice and steady. Right, so I'm on my way back to Mylor, which is just on the opposite side of the Fal estuary to St Justin Roseland, and that's enough excitement for a day. I think it's time for a beer. See you later. So just coming back onto the mooring here, coming down to pontoon 8. Feels a bit tight this bit. No other boats coming, so it's all right. So I'm on my way back across the Carrick Roads. That's Mylor Marina behind me, and I'm heading back to the mark where we caught the Bull Huss yesterday morning. I caught that Bull Huss, I just caught the one, and I fancied some more. Just see if we can pick up another one, and maybe even a thornback ray on the same area. I had a wonderful pasty for lunch, and we decided that we'd also like some mackerel for tea, so I spent a little bit of time, maybe an hour, feathering up. Well, I used the lure, got a couple of really nice chunky mackerel that we had for tea last night, and as you'll see, I kind of responded to a pan call from the Coast Guard and towed a guy back to St Justin Roseland, which is just up ahead here. So we're just heading across to the mark. I'll get the anchor down, and we'll have another chat about what's going on. See if we can get another one of those Bull Huss. It was really good. I enjoyed that. So I've just baited up. Same rig as I had yesterday. I've got the mackerel on that I caught the day previous, and it stinks. It's gone pretty rancid, I think. So this is going to go 2 ways. I think I'll give it an hour, and if the Bull Huss have a taste for stinky mackerel, then we've got quids in. If not, and I think what I'll do is up sticks, head over to my pot, which is about a mile further out towards the St Mawes. We'll put some stinky bait in the pot, because remember there was a bit of a discussion about is it stinky or fresh bait you want. And then we'll see if we can feather up some fresh mackerel. Maybe come back here a little bit later on this afternoon. So I think we've potentially got a fish on. Yes. It's another rather nice Bull Huss. Okay, so another Bull Huss. Just a small one this time. Off he goes. I think they like the stinky bait. I really can't believe I caught that Bull Huss. The mackerel is almost decomposing. It's well past its best. Maybe that's the secret weapon. That took about 20 minutes. So I'll put one more bait out, see how we get on. I'll maybe just catch one more with this bait. I am going to have to go and stick the bait in the pot and get some fresh bait, because the boat stinks, I stink, my hands stink. It is seriously minging. If we had smelly vision, you'd be gopping, I tell you, it's awful. So yeah, it could be the secret weapon, but on the other hand, it ain't pleasant to fish with, I can tell you. So like if you wanted to call the lifeboat and it was coming straight for you, this would feel very good, but I do hope he's seeing me. It's coming straight for me. That's great to see these guys. Well done, guys. Get ready to rock and roll now in the wake. So we're about an hour before high water, and I would say we're midway between neaps and spring tides. But there's certainly quite, I would say there's a knot or so of tide coming in here. The line is quite a way out the back. I noticed that on my mark I'd put a note and said that I fished this in June last year on an incoming tide. Maybe that's what makes the Bull Huss have a good feed around. Maybe they're feeding as the tide comes in. Okay, so this one, it's almost like dogfish size, but you can see with those nasal marks and the teeth that is in fact a small Bull Huss. That's the third one we've had. So I think the Bull Huss that I got yesterday was the biggest of the bunch. They've been two smaller ones today. That last one I could have mistaken for a dogfish, but you can see it's got the nasal, I think they call them crevices or something, and you can see the teeth on it. So it's definitely a Bull Huss, not a dogfish. So that's been really successful. Bye for now.